Hey, everybody. Quickly, Ham will be on in 7 minutes. I apologize for getting upset yesterday. It's hot here. But also, from now on, I will dismiss people without answering their questions. And this isn't a democracy here. If you think I'm trying to scam you or Ham's trying to scam you, just go listen to Roaring Kitty or somebody else. We're in a battle, unfortunately. The U.S. stock market is complete fraud, and this is sanctioned by Gary Gensler. Going over it over and over and over again, number one, doesn't seem to sink into everybody's brains, but number two, doesn't change anything. Just doesn't change. The fact is that fronts like Jeff Easton, who's untalented, Kurt Kramer, who's similarly untalented, they're fronts for big pools of money, which are probably your own investment funds, like Citadel or SAC or BlackRock. They systematically strip wealth out of the stock market without paying taxes to the tune of trillions of dollars. How do they do it? They sell stock into existence that doesn't exist. They drive it downward, ever downward, ever downward, ever downward. And these toxic convertible notes, or whatever way it's changed, above market with warrants, whatever way it's changed, are just a pressure valve to release stress on the stock if it starts to run upwards. They sell into a world where there's no buying from any of the major brokerage houses, retail brokerage houses. There's no buying from institutional houses. Why? Because the shares are under $5 and $10 approximately, and they're under $1 billion market cap. Or it changes, but the point is they're under the levels where they'll be buying. There's no investment banking. There's no research. You think this is by chance? This is so that Wall Street can get a guy that stole the idea from his roommate, like Zuckerberg. They can bring him all the way up through Facebook. Or a guy like Bezos that has so much talent, he can only find a woman that's been passed around like a hot potato for all of her life to divorce his wife with. They make him rich. But it's because they can control the path. They can go from the initial round all the way to the top. At the top, they start dumping the stock on you. That's what Bezos is doing now. He's selling billions of shares of stock. Billions. Why? Why? Teemu. And Teemu, by the way, is what Finger Motion is a gateway for their customers. They get a little toll booth every time their customers buy anything there. So anyway, this goes on and on and on. And then people come on here. They ask me, what's my best trade? Why is the stock down? It's good news. Why is the stock flat? How come the stock is still going on down? What's going on? That's what's going on. They sell trillions of dollars worth of stock across the market. And that's just how it is. It's just how it is. And what you're trying to do when you're trying to find a squeeze is to catch lightning in a bottle. There's rumors today that idiot Roaring Kitty is buying one of those stocks calls, a GME or Chewy. Well, go play that. But if you're here, you're trying to isolate a stock like Finger, which has strong fundamentals, which Ham has been following. If you don't trust him, there's no reason to listen to him. None. Now, in terms of people get paid. People you listen to, from Frank Benedetto to others, get paid. Oh, don't pick on them. They have a family. They have to raise their children. Well, look, if you want to get advice from somebody about the stock market who doesn't get paid, go down to your shoe shine boy. Call up your mother. Otherwise, if you're getting advice on Wall Street, those people are being paid. So I'm not going to listen to any of this basher handbook crap anymore. I'm just not going to. I will cut you off, and I'll selectively answer questions. I'm no longer, from this point forward, going to answer every question that's here. If you ask it, it may not be answered, and that's just how it's going to be. My other choice is to make it all membership only, which I think it's unfair when I have a computer that freezes and I have a personality like mine to charge anybody to listen to me. So, all right, let's see if we can get him. All right, I got to get the speaker. I had it ready. It's quick. It's quick.
Battery 100%. Connected to Phil's iPhone.
Okay, you should be live.
All right, everyone. Number one, let's start out with GameStop. I told you, if you want to be in it, you buy the dips, sell your rips. Well, you could have bought your dip between 24, 24.50, sold it anywhere, 25, 25 and a half, whatever the number is, made $1, made 50 cents, and then turn around and you bought some cheap calls and you're still involved for a free shot. This stock is the stock that's the gift that keeps giving. The investors keep pumping it up. So every time it dips, buy it. Every time it rallies, sell it. If you want to be involved, just buy cheap calls for free and you don't lose any money. That's the real way to play the stock market. Being a diamond hands is not the right way to do it. In that name, you already had the short squeeze 15 times. How many times can you squeeze a lemon? I don't understand, but that's their business, and let those people do what they have to do. I don't want to piss on their fire or rain on their parade. All right, so you can do it all the time in these names. They're in play, up, down, doesn't make a difference. Same thing with DJT. The pullback to sitting here, the volume is stopped. You can and it when it does rally though to 32, sell it. Do the same thing. Buy some cheap calls. Go out a month. Go out a week. Who cares? But use the FU money that you make. All right. Don't use more real money. Keep going into it. All right. So that's number one. Number two, let's talk about finger motion. All right. Stock moved up to 242, traded 316,000. Number one, clean your ears out, everyone. The real short hasn't covered. It's 1.9 million. We'll see what the real number is at the end of the day or tomorrow morning, whenever it does come out.
Does he have time today to change his number by the end of the day? I guess so.
No. Well, what do you mean changes?
In other words, can he buy back shares today to reduce his?
No, it won't be calculated. It won't be calculated in this one. It goes into the next one. There's a little bit of a lag. I don't know if it's 2 days. Okay. I don't know if the cutoff was 2 days ago or today. I'm not sure.
Okay.
They don't tell you that. I haven't seen that. But again, he's short 1.9 million. You haven't seen it. What we're watching is the old cha-cha trying to mark it down. I just put up, William, for those who are not paying attention on Twitter, the times and sales, okay?
Yeah.
231. I'm just going to read you trades that happened. 231, 1 share. 231, 5 shares, 5 shares, 5 shares, 5 shares, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 7, 8, 6, 6, 8, 4, 7, 47, 5, 5, 4. And that was down to 230. Those are all manipulated. It's all manipulation. There's no sellers. This is them selling it back and forth, trying to make the stock trade lower. That's all it is. All right. I view this, my opinion, this is a screaming buy when you see that type of manipulation. All right. And as I was driving, I just remembered that. Remember, we heard Susquehanna when the stock was around 2. I heard that they were trying to buy stock from the company, Susquehanna. So obviously somebody there must be short at Susquehanna because they were trying to buy stock from the company. And I told this to a big investor, and he says, if Susquehanna's calling, that means, obviously they're short. So obviously Susquehanna is another dirty place. And, this is how they do it. Companies turn it down. They said they weren't going to blend money out down here. So obviously they turned it down. So there you go. Anyway, this manipulation is just ridiculous to watch. It's an insult, and it's just amazing. Again, just watch. I just give you an example. A GameStop is when you can actually see the shorts walking away. The stock is 26.18 to 26.20. It's not even trading. So what's going on there is shorts are playing. It's the longs playing against longs, really. That's where it becomes sort of like a pyramid scheme. The longs need to keep buying it because the shorts are not covering. All right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Just wanted to let the guy know I was fine with you. That is what it becomes. Once the shorts are not involved, okay, you can tell when the shorts involved, stocks scream like KOSS. All right, that's when the shorts are involved. They squeeze them up and then they drop them. KOS is pulled back into that zone in 935. If you're a riverboat gambler, when no one wants it, if you want to play, you think it's going to squeeze, now's the time to do it. It's down 57 cents. The volume is dried up. It's not my cup of tea, but if you want a riverboat gamble, now's the time to do it. If it squeezes again, make sure you buy the dip, sell the rip. I just happened to hit it up. That's why I reported it. You can do this in all the different names. All right. But I study finger motion, and I study the real short, the naked short, the manipulation, the data, the news. I study it all. And I report it to you daily on what I see. What you're seeing, this pullback, there's no selling. You saw yesterday the desperation on the close, just the market down 2 cents. They don't want these stocks to go up because they gain momentum. When you gain momentum, that's what kills them. All right, so that's why you see this 100-share cha-cha to move it down. Just remember, when the guy with the 1.9 million has to try and cover, if there is no selling, there's 100 shares off it. Go try to buy 2 million shares when there's 100 shares off it, always up. It'll be a bloodbath so fast you won't even know it. You'll have your head spinning. All right, that's how I see it, and that's what I see here. Now let's go on to the news. Let's go back to the news. All right, after thinking about this, the company's installing software in every emergency vehicle in China.
Let's call them first responders. I don't know.
First responders, whatever it is, high level alert, whatever you want to call it. Just go in Manhattan. How many ambulances there? How many fire marshals? How many firemen, fire trucks, blah, blah, police officers, whatever they are. Just go up the whole ladder. How many cars and trucks they have. But let's figure out what's the pricing on this thing. I don't know what the pricing can be. Let's say I'll just make a number, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. Pick a number anywhere in there. They install it. It's multiplied how much the software is times each car they install it in. So let's say it's 1,000. If they do it, one time, they make $1,000. Just multiply it. There's millions of these trucks and all these, first responders through China. It's going to be easy to see the cost to install this thing from the company side, because it's like going to the auto mechanic, or like going to buy a Tesla. Everyone knows a Tesla costs $40,000 to make. If they sell it for $50,000, that's their profit. $10,000 per car. That's how they do it. So we're going to get the numbers on these devices rather quickly, because it is install it, get paid. Install it, get paid. Install it, get paid. It's pretty easy. Now, the second part of that is I'm going to think like Kathy Woods, which I watched her last night, projecting about Tesla up to 2030. She put out her projections on Tesla and how it could be doing trillions in revenues based on robo-taxis. No one's going to drive anymore. We're going to have robo-taxis. And she's projecting how much it's going to be worth, trillions of dollars. Well, I'm going to do the same thing for finger motion. Let's project like Kathy Woods does. She can, I can also. Let's say they install this software. In China, the government's going to pay for these contracts. And eventually, that someone's going to have, there's going to be a maintenance charge to give upgrades, things like that. There's going to be a charge. Once you buy a car and it starts to break, it's your fault. You got to fix it, right? Like anything else. I bought an Apple computer years ago. It broke. I brought it to Apple. They said, okay, we can fix it for you, but it's going to cost you another $900. You're better off going to buy a new one for $1,800. So once these things, so you actually can have renewals, all types of stuff behind it, that this could be worth billions of dollars down the road, all of China. And they got the contract from the government of China. You can project it any way you like. Once you see the numbers, I don't know what goes on behind it, how far it goes, but I'm just looking at the contract. Someone called me up because how big is it? How big is this contract? I said, companies would kill just to get the state of Maine to get their software installed. These guys just landed the whole country of China, not a state, the whole country in China. And now we have a guy that's short 1.9 million who has to show his hand sooner or later. And we have someone short 230 million shares who we know is going to get roasted. And we know that we're down to 87 days before the election, and Pat Byrne's going to expose, the stock settlement system. He's told you himself. So you put it all together, and you can tell yourself what you think is going to happen. You don't need me to tell it to you. The details are right here. I'm leaving out the other 90% of the businesses that they do already. This is a business that's a cash and carry business, meaning the company puts the software in their trucks or cars or whatever, how they do it, and they're going to get paid a certain amount from the Chinese government. Now, I don't know about you. If people that are tied to the Chinese government are somehow involved in finger motion, I think they're going to get good contracts from the Chinese government. And individuals that own finger motion stock, which I heard there's plenty from Asia that do, are going to do very well because, William, before this contract came out, when you went to the event at the NASDAQ, what was the opinion of all the people from Asia that you met? Not that.
Oh my gosh. The university, I would say, you can correct me, but I'd say there were at least 24 people. It might have been more than that. They're all big investors, all of them. They're not selling. They're buying more. They're not selling. And so
those people would know better than anybody how big this is.
Absolutely.
And they're not flinching. And they don't care what the short is. They know that they have a monster in the makings, and they're sticking to their guns. They don't flinch.
I'm not sure this is the contract that some of them were talking about, but it might be. But
I don't know. Without
going into details, they were really excited about future contracts coming that were sizable. But
well, let's look at this one. We never heard anything about this type of information. I never heard anything about this stuff.
I didn't either.
And it came out of the blue, and the company's developed some software that I don't know anything about. And it's going to be installed in millions of first responders' trucks or cars, whatever it may be, out of the blue. And they were awarded by the Chinese government. And all the companies in the world that would want that contract, Finger Motion got it.
Yeah.
This small little company got this contract. It didn't get it to do it in Shanghai. They got to do it in every city. Every city. There's 30 million people living in these cities. What do you think? They have 2 fire trucks? What are you kidding me? They have hundreds and millions of these things in every city. So, I mean, this is a major contract. Do your own homework. Calculate it any way you like. And if the stock was 20, I would say there's risk, up and down. But the stock is here. These idiots have pushed themselves into a trap. They pushed themselves into a trap, trying to destroy the company because guess what? They wanted to they were spreading the stories that the company's going to raise money here. You're all going to get screwed. That was their offensive play call. Don't get involved. The company's raising money here. Yesterday, the clown said that this was a security issue for China. All of a sudden, we got someone worried about the security issue for the Chinese government. Think about that statement yesterday. So they're just groping. They're trapped. All roads lead back to Lynn, Benchmark, and their friends. My real issue is what I'm looking for is the idiot that's short 1,930,000 shares. Because I've been in the office with major hedge funds and watched traders on their desk who had upside down positions were told to reverse them. If they were long, sell them, short, buy them in, get rid of this position at all costs, or you get fired. And that's the position that we're watching here is someone that is actually out of their bird. Whoever is short this stock is either in a coma or the biggest moron ever. So he's running neck and neck with Charlie Mayo from the GTII Kramer fame. All right? That's how stupid these guys, this position is. The most they can make. Okay? And I'm going to be conservative on this. I'll say $2.85 because they already spent 15
That's the
cents.
real short. That's the real short.
Right. I'm talking about the real short. He shorted $3. How do I know it? I've been calculating it and following it for 2 years. All right. So he's short down here $3. The cost to carry, I'll take away 15 cents. I do think it's more. I think it's more like 30 cents, but I'm being polite. So I'll say 285. Each day that goes by, the cost to carry 1,930,000 shares of stock is going to be half a penny, quarter of a penny. End of a week, it's costing him 2 to 3 cents. Every month, 12 cents. And it goes down. So if it's 285, in 2 weeks more, he's going to be down another 12, 13 cents. That means the most they can make it be 272. And it keeps going lower. It's not going higher. He's not selling stock at 2 to average his position. He's lowering his cost if he's shorting it. So this guy is completely trapped. And once it goes above his average price, which is, like I said, I'm giving it being conservative, 285, then he's in the red. And each day that goes on that the stock is in the red, he's losing money because he has to pay the toll booth, the cost to carry every day. That doesn't go away. That doesn't go away. You know? So again, you understand the 1 million and just look at it this way. The 1.9 million versus the 230 million. We know it's the same people.
Right.
If the 230 is going to blow up, why not save the 1.9 million account? Unless they want to blow up both of them. Right? I don't know which money's in this account that has 1.9 million shares short, but they might as well cover that one. Instead of getting blown out, both of them only get blown out in the bigger one. Why would you destroy the 1.9 million, right?
Right.
So I expect them to cover. They're going to, as we use the word, decouple, and one is going to start to cover. And it's not going to be the naked short that's going to cover first. It's going to be the real short. All right? So people understand the motivation and how these things work. All right? These guys are going to, if the real short is going to fold first, then the naked short. The naked short, no matter what happens in this world, 87 days, Pat Byrne, Donald Trump is going to win. Pat Byrne's going to get in, and it's the shit is going to hit the fan fast. Okay? I'm not going to say it's going to happen in 87 days, but once he wins, it's a guarantee. Pat Byrne will have a voice in the administration, and he will close this loophole out. I posted some quotes from the loophole this morning on Twitter. I'll read it to you again. Tom Gira, he was the head of NASDAQ BP. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it. I want to read exactly what I wrote because I forgot. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. Gira concluded that a true market maker is not someone who goes into the box and all they do is sell. Don't you see that pattern with us? The market makers, the naked shorts in our stock are using the market maker exemption, and all they do is sell. That's from 2007. They were concerned about that. And it's in writing. I put it up. All right. I put that. He also said you're concerned about the segment of market making activities and firms. Our concern is that people are registering as a market maker just to get the short sale exemption. That's what the day trading firms do. That's what hedge funds do. They do it through firms like Wedbush. They let them use their license. I forgot the term. What's that term again? I went blank. Where they let them use their. If you go trade through Wedbush as a hedge fund, they'll let you use their
correspondent.
No. I forgot what it's called. I forgot the stupid term. It'll come to me in a minute. But they let these guys piggyback and use their market maker exemption. And Wedbush is supposed to monitor the people that are using their. And the people are supposed to monitor. Wedbush is supposed to monitor the people that are using their market maker capabilities, and they look the other way and pay the fines. And it's right. If you Google that, you'll see it. Wedbush is always getting fined for that. Give me 1 second. Get me. I just asked my friend to get me the short trigger number for finger motion. I kind of lost track. I'll say it's around 405. Once it goes above 405, that's when these guys are completely underwater on the 230 million shares. Remember, the selling is really dried up. All right. It's really, today's the first day, I think.
Well, is there something, I'm listening to you trying not to interrupt, but is there something that will trigger the real short to buy, let's say today? Not
yeah.
really. Yeah. Okay.
It can happen at any time.
Okay.
Listen, the real short is trying to tiptoe and try to cover. I think there's some washing going on right now. I just saw another big trade go up, maybe 6,000 or 7,000. What they do is they're trying to, the naked short is trying to actually help. The only person that can help the real short is the naked short. He's the only seller. There is no seller. I think the investors in finger motion who wanted to sell have sold. I think everyone else is super educated and understands the risk reward that are here. And the new contract has, to me, has cemented that this company is worth way more than $2.40 than where it's trading at. Okay, I'll say way more. I'll be conservative. It's worth $7. I personally think it's worth 50, north of 50 already, but I'll say $7. So the stock is worth $7. Benchmark said it was worth $5 2 years ago. And they used a Wall Street analyst to do the report. So with this story, I'll just say it's worth $7. Well, it's $2.40. Who's selling it down here? Nobody. So again, I believe it's worth more. I just went over the fundamentals that I see. That I didn't even do here. I didn't do any of the other stuff. I left that. You guys everyone wants to see action fast. Well, they just did a deal that's going to show us action fast. It's like going to the supermarket. You buy milk, whatever it is. You buy it. The guy who sells you the milk, he cost him $1 to make it. He sells it for $5. He makes $4. That's it. That's what you're going to see here. And right away they print it and they come down. It was 33, 37. No offers. Now 800 comes at 34, and all of a sudden they print 100 shares at 33. I don't know who's wasting their time doing this all day, but they're basically, these are complete fraudulent morons trying to do this. They're just trying to con you into selling. That's all it is. There's nothing else I can tell you. That's all it is. You can take 2 hours off go take a nap and you can come back and see the same stupid movement. It's back and forth. It's the same thing. In the old days, William, when someone was wrong, they turned, either sold their position out or bought it in and covered. These guys are standing like the Statue of Liberty there. If they don't move, they don't do anything. So either we get hedge funds and there they go, they knocked out the bid. They're selling. I told you, once they come to 34, they knock out the bid. Now there's no bid. It didn't trade there, but there's no bid. And all of a sudden the bids will disappear. I mean, it's just remarkable that they're sitting here going back and forth in the same spot. Go ahead, William.
233, 63.
Yeah, that means that it was 233 bid, but all of a sudden it traded 233.63 and the 33 bid disappeared. That's interesting.
I was thinking of something while you were talking. Those trades you were putting out, 1 share, 2 shares, 7 shares, 5 shares. Back when I was active, we had a minimum commission. Yeah,
Right.
Nobody would put those share trades in because they would be hit with 37.50 every. And the only way I could get around that with my big clients at the end of the day, I could sit and move all the commission. I could try to get it approved, move all the commission, pretend like that was one big trade. But my point is, maybe this so-called commission-free trading isn't so much to help us, the retail, it's to help the criminals just flood the market with these little miniature trades, no cost. And it's for them, not for us.
Yeah, there you go. There's the all of a sudden the bids disappeared. Now it's offered at 33, 31 to 33.
Yeah, that's because we're live.
Right. It's like here comes the sell program.
That's because we're live. And they're gonna.
I don't care. Listen, accumulation is going to wipe them out.
Well, yesterday, I think you made the point, and I tried to make the point, although probably incoherently. Yesterday, the news was great. The stock stalled. That's usually an opportunity to add to the position, and that's today too, I think. There's nothing magical about 233. Do you think these sellers have a crack research team calculating that now the stock's worth 233? Heck no.
The company's going to install software and make $2 for each trade.
On 5 million vehicles, even at $100 a vehicle net to the company. That's a ton of money.
Right.
That's a ton of money. They're going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, no, listen. The company's in business. They got a deal done, and the stock isn't rewarded. Someone keeps holding it down. It's insane what's going on here. All right, it's totally insane. The cost of getting contracts for finger motion are zero.
So do you know how long it, in other words, they announced, I think, 2 cars initially, and then you expect updates pretty frequently. I don't know if you talked about that. How long will it take to start putting this app into cars?
I think that how long is it going to take? They already started, obviously.
Right.
The CEO is excited about it. So what do they do? They get someone, a couple of technicians, they come out, they install this software, or I don't know how you do it, whatever it is, they're putting it in the car. Could it take 10 minutes? Could it take 10 hours? I don't know. So let's say they got 3 guys doing it. They're doing 20 cars a day. Once they do it, and let's say they make $1,000 and they spend $100 to do it, they're plus $900 for each car. If it's $5,000, I'm sure the company is giving them more or getting paid more than the cost of designing whatever the hell this is, right?
Do you think they book the earnings or the revenue as they install, or do they get money up front?
Yes, I think they have to do it as soon as they get paid. So I'm pretty sure when I go to get my oil changed in my car, I sit there, they come out and say, okay, it's $49.99. You change my oil? Yes, I'll pay you, right?
Right.
That's how it works.
Okay.
That's how it's going to work. Everything works like that, And as we speak, they moved the 200 shares down. Now it's set at 33. They want to sell it at 32. The spread is closing because they don't want people to see.
Hey, it's just profit taking from yesterday. There's
Right,
systems
everybody-
in place to prevent this kind of manipulation.
Right. And I'm just gonna show you, go back to GameStop for a second. It's up $1.60. It's been in the same spot since we've been on for 26 minutes.
Well, you saw the
And you-
rumor that somebody bought 5,000 of the 30 calls for this week.
Yes, I saw them. They bought 5,000 of the 30 calls at 30 cents.
Right.
Okay. That's 150,000. So if I owned 1,000,000 shares of stock and it went up $1, I make $1 million on my stock. I lose 150,000 in my calls. I wonder if anybody's doing that. Doesn't sound like anybody would ever do that, right? You have to be a buffoon if you don't understand hedge funds do that to manipulate the stocks. They bought 5,000 calls. Everyone talked about it, and the stock went up $1. The guy who owns it probably owned 1,000,000 shares of stock. Even if he owns 500,000 shares, he sells it up $1, $1.50. He's making $700,000. He loses 150. He made 500,000. Thank you very much. And he's got 5,000 calls, and he could kill us where they go to. And I bet you, I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around after they sell their stock, after manipulating it higher, sell the calls back. And they probably break even on them. Think about that play. And you say, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? Well, this is an old game. Go back to the Bear Stearns puts. That's what they did in Bear Stearns. The stock was 60. Somebody bought thousands of the 30 puts. Then the naked shorts attacked it and they killed the company, and it became self-fulfilling, right? Then they went after Lehman the same way. And then every day there was a new company where somebody bought the put. It's called sponsored access. That's what it was called. So it was every day back in the day when Bear Stearns
What
went out,
sponsors access? So if you
that mean they
you can just piggyback on a fake
Right.
market maker by
Right.
being a fake. You just get a sponsor, and you're a fake guy too, and then you can just sluice shares down the Reg
Right.
Show
You go-
exemption.
we
Swell.
can go into Wedbush today and say, hey, we run
Swell.
$10 million. We like to do
Why don't
this.
we set that up? Why don't we do our own fund, and we'll just start with $1 million, and we'll just start shorting the hell out of stocks.
It's called sponsored access. Refers to the practice in which a brokerage bank or a bank or brokerage firm offers a client direct market access. That's what it's called, direct market access to an exchange without any pre-trade risk management present. Sponsored access allows high-frequency traders to access low latency markets with pre-execution controls provided by the exchange.
Swell. Swell.
So these guys are allowing anybody with a face and some money to have direct access to the market. You could be doing it as a terrorist. No one even knows. Wedbush gets fined because they're supposed to monitor anyone that they give direct market access to. They look the other way. What are you doing, William? Oh, no, I'm doing okay. You're supposed to watch it. They don't do anything.
So this Scott points out, I agree with this. I always tease about it. Let's see what Finger's trading at. It's trading. Oh, it's a real number, 232. But Scott's pointing out, why would anyone buy or sell shares, 100 shares, and you need to get 0.0001 better than the bid or the ask? I mean, it's insanity. But Ann Wagner, the oversight committee, subcommittee, she doesn't care. She doesn't want to have that audit trail. Just doesn't
Well, the
care.
funny thing about those numbers are, okay, just to show you, those numbers are all make-believe. If you were to buy a stock and you paid 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Whatever the number is, $3.2546. How do I get change for that number?
Yep.
What is the difference? What is the change for that number? Why would you have that number? Because we can't. What is 0.245 equal to it in dollars? It's just not even a penny.
Well, luckily, the last trade in GME, they just went off at 25.8603. Phew. I didn't want to pay 8605.
Listen, those numbers are for these market makers. These high frequency guys, they jump in front of each other just trying to get an edge. So they just.
Well, you always
sell
talk
it.
about pennies. That's 8 pennies. That's
Yeah, they don't even. It's just, anyway, I just wanted to talk. While you brought up GME for a second.
yeah.
Remember, if I was a hedge fund, I want to get GameStop going yesterday.
Yeah.
I own 1 million shares. I've been accumulating it at 24.50. Hey, go buy 5,000 of the 30 calls at 30 cents. That's $150,000. Everyone on Twitter will talk about it. It's going to go crazy, blah, 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 whatever. And the stock will go up. We'll sell our stock. We make $1 million, up $1. And we make 1 million, lose 150. And you know what? After we sell the stock, a lot of times we could just sell the stupid calls and break even. Because retail investors are coming in here. People, hedge funds do that all the time. Okay? Just be aware of it. You can trade it. I just told you how to trade it. Don't be tempted with these stupid trades. You can buy the dip, sell the rip, buy the cheap calls yourself, but use the profits. Here today, gone tomorrow. Just remember that. Remember, the company sold 120 million shares to the shorts already. 120 million shares. Just remember that. The company covered the shorts. So you can squeeze it, pump it all you want. Just be careful. That's all. I hope it goes to the moon for everybody. I hope everybody makes a ton of money. That's not my game. I told you, they squeezed it 3 times. Go squeeze a lemon. Tell me how many times you can get lemonade out of it after you squeeze it 3 or 4 times.
How much sugar are you using?
Yeah, well, I don't think you're going to get much more lemon out of it. So just be careful. You know, just be careful on names that are in play. Wall Street's not, the short sellers are not stupid people. They know that you're attacking them. And basically, when a stock does nothing, like it's doing GameStop up and down a quarter, these guys take advantage of the spike. And you know what? They could do it over and over again. Remember, they sold it between 20 or 10 and 80. And they bought it all back from the company at $20, $22, whatever the hell the number was.
Yeah.
So I think the shorts did pretty well on this last go around. They probably made themselves $20 on 120 million shares. So, you know, they got some wiggle room.
And they probably don't pay taxes on it.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
It's all.
Listen, all I know is that trading desks on Wall Street have been probably told their short sellers, the guys who trade on the short side, get away from the name, stop playing there. One by one, they start to disappear. And that's what I think I see. I see short sellers disappearing. I mean, you get some guys coming here at spike and they start playing, but there's no reason. Go play someplace else. But that, you know, again, it's the longs trying to push it. It becomes a pyramid scheme where, William, you buy it, then I have to buy it. We have to keep working it to keep it going because eventually the company's fundamentals need to catch up to support it. And that's the game. So at the end of the day, he's got $4 billion. The company, if you want to stay with a company, it's got $4 billion to build out a beautiful business plan. GameStop's your company. He's got the money. Let's see what he does.
Well, he's got to get rid of the leases for $1.5 billion.
Yeah, listen, I'm not here to poo-poo on his business. But again, go build it. You should invest in the company. If you believe he's going to make a great company out of it, go get invested. That's it. That's the game. I always tell Rory and Kitty, come on the call. I would love to know what your plan is. Are you a freedom fighter? Do you want to stop naked short selling? Are you in GameStop to make money? Because you just missed an opportunity to make a ton of money, but you never sold it. So what is your game plan? Are you here just to do stupid things? Tell us if you're going to do stupid things. At least tell the other investors, hey, I'm here to do stupid things, but I'm not here to make money. So he's got to show his cards what the hell he's doing, because I have no idea what he's doing.
Well, he's got to be a billionaire to put $250 million in 2 different stocks.
Well, listen, he was living in his basement. That's how he started this thing.
I guess he saved on rent.
If If you can live in your basement and walk away and make that much money, sign me up.
He saved $250 million on rent.
Where was he living? In the Taj Mahal?
He's a genius. That's true, Bo. GME could be, I read where it could be the next Amazon. Hey, Ham, I found an article that I saved from the last time I came up to see you. I guess it was when I was up there for Finger. Investor Business Daily Weekly. Amazon's new rival, China e-commerce upstart, aims to topple all commerce competition. That's Teemu, T-E-M-U. And I think Finger has them as a client where they're a gateway to their shopping malls.
Right, that's it. They're tied to their shopping mall. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize that they have partnerships and relationships with so many big companies. We have no analysts here. Remember that.
There's no analyst except for the hamster, and
who isn't an analyst?
And he's not an analyst.
I'm just all I am is reading a parrot, reading what I see. That's all I am.
This came out May 13th, so that's a while ago. But Teemu hits a new.
But just go read all their press releases. Go back in time. Go look at all their relationships. They're all here to drive revenue to this company. It doesn't happen, when a new store opens up in your neighborhood, it takes time before you go drifting into it and start to become a customer, right? A new bagel store opened by me. I was going to a different bagel store. Eventually, I said, let me go try this bagel store. Well, their bagels are better than the other guys, so now I go there. So that's how business is. It starts to drive traffic in different directions. So the volume, it was 353 for 15 minutes. Now it's 355. So 2,000 shares have traded in 15 or 17 minutes, probably all in 100, 200, 1, 2, 3, those stupid numbers.
So
there's zero selling. All we need is the hedge fund that is short 1.9 million, whoever that person is. We need them to step up and buy. Just pay attention.
So right now you figure they're trying to wash it to get themselves out of trouble.
The only person that's going to help him is the naked short. He has to wash it to them.
Because they have a deal probably at the risk of losing his knees. It's probably a pretty scary deal.
Listen, you do not want to be short 1.9 million because when the naked short gets wiped out, okay, the real short's going to get caught in the wash.
If you're down 100 times 1.9 million, is that $190 million?
It's a big number. And the problem is the guy short 1.9 million is going to file for bankruptcy also. And guess who's going to come? The federal authorities, because they're going to come looking for the people who perpetrated this fraud, right? So there's no reason for that guy, the offshore guy, but not the 1.9 million guy, because he's going to be easier to track more than the hedge fund.
This Taylor Fritz guy's no laughing matter.
Hey, William, I saw last night on SportsCenter, Djokovic. He was addressing the people booing him.
Have a good night.
Yes, he was yelling at them, have a good night. He says, I played in very hostile environments. He goes, it's not fair to the people here trying to enjoy tennis. I don't know who was harassing him, but
they were cheering room like Bruce. but I think they were hard on him, and I don't blame them. I mean, every place he goes, he's the greatest tennis player ever. And I know everyone loves Rafa and Federer, but Djokovic is better than both of them.
Well, again, I just saw that thing last night. I was thinking of you. He says, I didn't know what they were booing him about. Guy, I'd never been to a tennis match where they booed people. I'd never seen that. So I guess tennis is turning into Happy Gilmore where where it's turned into every sporting event, just it's turning into the Wild West.
The original Planksta, who's got a great dog. That's a good boy. Anyway, he's saying that the system sounds like a product he worked on previously at SciTech Corp called Radio Interoperability System, RIOS. Maybe. It'd be nice, original Planksta, if you know the margins on it, because that's where Finger's just going to be printing money.
Well, they'll be printing money. They're selling whatever they're buying, whatever they make, whatever they created, they're selling it to the Chinese government. So if it costs them $100 to make, they're going to charge them 100 plus whatever their fee is on top of it. So they're basically getting back their expenses on the product and charging them whatever it is to install it, whatever their fee is. So they're going to say it's 100 to buy it, 100 to install it. It could be 500 to buy it and 500 to install it, or I have no idea. Then they have to maintain it. I don't know, but just think of the numbers. I don't know how much. It seems to me that NVIDIA is selling chips, and they're selling them, and they're selling them for thousands and thousands of dollars. Software by Microsoft is not sold for free. Right? They don't give it away. They get you there's some reason that they sell you software. So there's plenty of money in this game. So why can't FingerMotion have designed something? Obviously, they designed it, and the Chinese government bought it, so it's got to be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Who knows if they go and then sell it to Vietnam, sell it to Malaysia, or sell it to this country, whatever they're doing. If it's working in China, they'll sell it other places too, right?
So Scott's pointing out that ignoring all the money involved, just the contract shows trust with the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, with Finger.
But listen, all you have to understand is that the people involved in this company in Shanghai have a great relationship with Beijing. That's all I need to know. And Beijing, everybody wants to do business in China. Apple,
Who's the new CEO at GTII? They already put in a new CEO?
Oh, what's his name?
Paul Strickland?
No. I spoke with Richard, and
is it the guy from Chicago? Luke?
Yes.
Oh God. Guys, don't get excited. It's just my opinion. I've never talked to the guy, and I just go out on the line. That guy is there representing the shorts. So don't trust it yet. He has to go. He has to go.
I don't think that's true. I don't know.
I know. See, people disagree with me.
I don't think that statement's true.
All right.
I do think that he's representing the CEO that's leaving, David Reichman. And Richard agrees in that everyone must leave. The board, that guy, there must be new appointees in there, and then you get excited.
My point of view is simple. You've got to have someone that simply will not do a deal with shorts, will not help the shorts. And I don't know many of those people.
Listen, Richard's not going away. Richard knows what he has to do.
He's a pretty smart guy. I mean, you can't tell it from his jokes, but he's a pretty smart guy.
Everyone needs to get removed. The guy, Luke, is probably taking his marching orders from David Reichman as he retires, right? So there you go.
Anyway, we just disagree.
There's nothing to say. Let it play out. Let's see what happens.
I'm going to banish you. Now that you disagree with me, I'm just going to ban you. No, just kidding.
Hey, listen, I'm giving you my opinion. I spoke with the guy Luke before. He's a deal maker. He wants to make things happen, but I do think that he's tied to David Reichman, and David Reichman is going to leave. He didn't want to leave this whole time, so now he's going to leave, and basically he's going to leave and say, okay, I'm leaving, and I have complete control, the biggest shareholder, whatever. Wow. He's going to flex his muscles, and Luke is going to say, hey, this guy's paying my way, so I have to obey him. That's it.
No, you're You've got a good heart, much better than you admit.
I think he'd be a fool. I think he'd be a fool to do a deal with the shorts at this point. I think that there's investigations going on, and I think that you do that and team yourself with anybody, you just get roped into trouble. It doesn't pay.
So this guy comes on less than a year ago, and now he's the CEO. It's brilliant on the shorts part. Anyway, that's my opinion. Let's just move on. Let's move on.
The CEO brought him in. Richard's going to kick them all out. Let Richard handle it. Just follow Richard.
I know it's so annoying to be right, but wrong at the same time. Anyway, DBMM yesterday, DBMM, 100% of the trades were marked short.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. I wrote, who the F is doing this all day long? They just washed it back and forth.
But Ann Wagner isn't curious. She comes from the show me state. She doesn't care.
That's right. I wrote down that yesterday. I said, who the F is doing this? What, are you kidding me?
All right. So you have a question. I think it's directed toward you from your favorite attorney. Well, he could be your favorite comedian. I don't know which, but probably not both. I can't find it now. Here we go. Oh. Not legal advice asks, have you ever heard of Equity Armor Investments?
No, I have not, but I jotted it down and I'll try to answer.
He says, guess who is affiliated with it, whose initials are LR?
Wow.
Lord Rothschild? I don't know who LR is.
The only person I know LR was the guy that the guy used to sell loose marijuana cigarettes on the Staten Island ferry. I don't know.
Was he the guy that played halfback for the
CEO,
New York football team?
Whatever his name is. Is that his name? Is that his
name? Oh, that's what it is. See, I'm quick. It's easy for me to say that not legal advice is smart because I'm so slow. I can't even pick up on an obvious clue.
I thought it was the guy selling loose marijuana cigarettes on the ferry. I played, we didn't even get a kick this morning. I played pickleball this morning with a gentleman that was, maybe 10 years older than me. And he turns to me and, I was really moving very well, hitting the ball hard. And he goes, oh my God, you're so fast. He goes, what do you do? I said, I just do a couple of lines of cocaine before I play. So when I go, I looked at me like, what? The people on the other side of the court couldn't stop laughing.
So not legal advice, because he knows what a dimwit I am. He writes, could Luke Rabari be LR? Answering his own question. I don't know.
Kick them all out. Kick them all out.
I feel like the Family Guy when they're playing that game with questions. What color is a red fire truck? And the father is like, let me think.
That show's very well written.
So, is Equity Armor using shorting as a tactic? Look, he's a derivatives guy.
Listen, the shorting game is going to be over in 87 days. The people that are doing this at the low life level are the first they're going to start to get vaporized. The DOJ, once Trump gets in, they'll send out. Pat Byrne knows the game. He will vaporize all the low level criminals first. All these unregistered toxic lenders are all the first to go. So if Luke Bahari wants to jump in and start playing the game, he's going to be the first to get caught. So let him do it. He wants to go. Listen, they're going to put that guy in jail for that guy from whatever his name is from New Jersey. I forgot his name. William Hang, whatever his name is.
Bill Wong.
He's going. His trial just went to jury, and what's he going to get? 25 years for a $35 billion fraud.
Well, he's been free for 4 years.
So he's going to be doing 31 more years or 24 more years. Good luck with this idiot. I mean, people, I keep trying to tell you, how many steaks can you eat? One? These guys want to eat 15 a day. This doesn't pay. Crime doesn't pay at the end of the day. These guys walked off. They made a lot of money. Leave, go away, but they can't help themselves. They keep thinking that it's free money. As they said,
They're just trying to fill a hole in their heart, and the more they do, it doesn't work, and they keep going. They have no other skill other than stealing.
Again, there is no skill. That is correct. There is no skill. I'm telling you, I'm watching finger motion trade, these 100 shares back and forth. There is no skill. I told you, if I was the short seller, let the stock go crazy and then knock it down. They cannot do it because they do not have the margin money. That's it.
This article I printed and did a video on, 6/18/22. Wall Street, this is Business Week. Wall Street isn't ready for the crackdown coming its way. Federal investigations into the questionable trading practices are on the rise, and the fate of Bill Wong and his firm Archeos may await others in the financial industry.
You don't think I guarantee you, everyone he had relationships with, every broker who did illegal trades.
He's singing? You think he's singing? I wonder if he sings, what language he sings in. He said 3 other broad inquiries have emerged, so-called block trade short sellers and well-timed wagers. They all center on the same question: are markets rigged?
All right.
This is 2 years ago, written 2 years ago.
Yep.
Biden administration officials have spent the last year laying groundwork to pursue white-collar crime more aggressively. I did a video on it. I don't personally see any action anywhere. Gerbar Grewal, there's a perception that there are 2 sets of rules. We want everyday Americans to have confidence when they invest in the market. They should have confidence knowing there's a dedicated group of professionals to deal with new threats, traditional frauds, and making sure their retirements are safe. It's almost laughable.
Listen, let's move down the road. These guys are going to get pinched. They're all going to get caught. They're dead men standing. That's all it is. Listen to Pat Byrne. Trust me, that guy did all the election fraud for Trump. He will have a voice in the administration. He told us. Pat Byrne does not lie. When he gets in here, he said before he goes to a farm and sits with animals, he is going to fix the stock settlement system. Trust me, that guy gets shit done. All right? Been around this for a long time. We all are in the best hands possible with the most powerful and the next president of the United States on our side. What else do you want? And if you don't think Donald Trump wants part of that GameStop money, then you lost your marbles also. Devin Nunes has already barked out that they have an issue with manipulation, and they're going to get to the bottom of it, because if there is a big short in that stock, they want to know about it. They want to get some of that money.
I had another question, but I forgot it. Look at this stupid finger. They're trying everything they can do to drive it down. They can't keep a good man down or a good woman
All you
down.
keep seeing is 31 to 35, and then they don't even go to 34. They drop the 100 shares to 33. They try to keep the spread closed because they want you to think there's a seller. That 33 offer is there to make you think, oh my God, there's a seller. Maybe I should get out. That's all they want you to do. That's it. I don't see the reason to sell it because I see the fundamentals, and the fundamentals have the stock valued way higher. Selling it here, I wish I was running money. I'd be buying the shit out of it. I don't have the money. I'm not a mutual fund. What am I supposed to do? So I talk about it. That's it. I give you my opinion. I'm giving you what Kathy Woods was posting on Twitter yesterday in a video. Her projections for Tesla for 2030 is going to be trillions of dollars from robo-taxis because no one wants to drive anymore. I find that hard to believe because there's no way I'm getting in a car and having a taxi drive me around. I'm driving until they put me in the box.
Well,
So that's what it is.
she's not the first name I would call for predictive abilities. She's a good follower.
My friend was her assistant at Alliance Capital. Okay. He put her trades in, so he knows it very well.
And she's
all right,
good?
So he said she was good, but everybody gets good, they get cold. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Which, by the way, how do the big funds have positive year in after year after year after year? They only do it by cheating. You're exactly right. You can be good for 3 years and then you have a disastrous year. It's just impossible.
Listen, the more money you run, the harder it is to get the returns. That's it.
I looked up BlackRock and their median return. Now I don't know what that means, but I Googled it. Is 14% return per year median on all their funds. 14, call it 14.5. They have $10 trillion. That means they're making $1.5 trillion profit for investors year in and year out. It's not plausible.
Well, William, I wanted to let you know that I had a call with someone today. And we have an into Greenlight Capital.
I know them. How do I know them?
And they have a contact in the Middle East.
Yeah, I know Greenlight Capital. I've got to think why.
But a very famous, powerful man in the Middle East. And I sent my business plan to her.
Shake your mommy?
And she's getting it to them. I'm not at liberty to tell you.
It could be
hey guys,
Prince Alaouid.
Don't forget Prince Alaouid. I know him.
I met when I say I met his wife, I didn't. I stood behind her when there were pictures taken at the Queen's Guards polo match. She was really lovely. She was very nice.
Remember him buying his Citibank stake through my friends at Oppenheimer. He's the one that saved Citibank.
Yeah.
And I know one of his traders, his name was Aziz. I met him in in Dubai recently.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, anyway.
Listen, but anyway, so we are continuing to pursue to get that license in the Middle East. But, with Donald Trump and Pat Byrne, my business idea is going down the drains quickly because I think that the U.S. problem that's here is going to be eliminated. And I
went in to see Prince Al-Walid with 2 books. I was doing a raise for a company and my friend set up the introduction. I went in with 2 books. I came out with a dozen. I was in and out so fast.
He got you to invest in his
I didn't get an audience. Like, would you like tea? In the Middle East, they give you tea. It's not really tea. I forget what it's called. But if you don't tell them no, they just keep filling your cup, and you can sit there till your bladder bursts. But you're not going to get the appointment. Anyway,
this is. I'm just looking at times and sales again. I have it back a little bit. 11:38, and I'm going to go forward. H is 63, 5, 7, 4, 6, 5, 8, 8, 2, 8, 3, 1, 1, 10.
In finger?
10, 500, 100, 100, 388, then 1800 was the big trade, 1600, then 5, 25, 75, 25. This is like, those are the trades. There is no selling. Those are nonsense trades. No selling at all. No selling.
So
every once in a while you get a buy.
All you need is one whale to come in, buy 10,000 shares, blow those ones out of the way. Although they just keep coming. They're like gnats. They just keep coming.
That's what listen, I'm not if I wanted to, I can go ring doorbells and get buyers. I'm not here to do that. If you can't figure this out yourself, I do not care. That's not my business. If I was a broker, I'd be on the phone dialing all day and I would get buy orders all day, but I don't need to do that anymore. This is all set up. This is it's perfectly set up. The shorts are trapped. The longs are educated. There's deep pocket longs here. No one has to do anything. I spoke to one of the biggest holders today in Finger Motion, and he got up to speed. And, when I told him about Susquehanna being around, and he said that, he says that if they're calling, it's getting close. That's what his answer was to me. I said, go have a great day. And he wanted me to play beach, not volleyball, something, I forget what it's called. It's a new game, beach something. Which of feet, maybe beach soccer. I forget what the hell it's called. And I told him I knew nothing about it. But anyway, that's what he was going to do. So I'm just saying that we all educated. There's deep pockets that are holding the stock. As you can see, there is zero selling, except for the 100, 100, 200, 200 shareholders. And the company didn't do a reverse. Some guy posted that the company's going to raise money, then do a reverse. I think he was talking about KNW and GI. What's the symbol of that other thing that these idiots invested in?
Oh, I wrote CGM. Darn it. I wrote it down.
GI, LM, something like that. Something like GI.
I can't find it.
I got it on my stupid thing.
Here, maybe it's here. Maybe it's here.
Here it is. GMGI.
GMGI.
Yes, the Lynn Partners, we can only convert 133% higher. Yeah, sure. Since they said that, there's been nothing but sellers in the stock. The stock has never gone up a nickel. Nothing.
But the point is, the conversion itself is just a pressure valve. And if it's up 100%, who cares? From 50 cents, they're not in it for that. That's just protection. And they can go get a shady lawyer to get the forms filled out at a prime broker. And then the flooding begins, and Ann Wagner doesn't care. And there's no, I don't know about you, but I remember there used to be rules about how much of a stock you sold or how much of a stock you bought. You had to disclose it. Doesn't matter anymore.
William, I'm going to put you on hold for 1 second. My grandson just walked into the house and I want to say hi. Can you hold on 1 second?
Say hi. Give him a kiss. Little cutie pie. Little cutie pie. Little cutie pie. One set all. One set all. While he's gone, I will make you a prediction. One of the first actions this CEO does is organize a reverse split, 500 to 1, 400 to 1, and bail out the shorts. I'll make that prediction. And I know that I'm a bad guy making that assumption, but hey, I'm sure it's not him. It's probably me. Something wrong with me. Yeah, coulda. I was going to ask your question, coulda. I coulda, woulda, shoulda, but he put me on hold. I was going to ask your question. I'll do it again anyway, just to make sure that people know.
Sorry, William, I'm back.
Yeah, people are asking, what's your new handle on Twitter?
Oh, it's the same stupid nonsense. Hold on 1 second. I don't even know what it is. Give me a second.
Well, they know. I can read it out.
It's ham 59591. My daughter did it for me, and she said, Dad, I have to keep going. All these numbers, anything around ham, there must be a zillion people using the same stupid thing, but it's ham 59591. Short, maybe? Is that what it is? Short? I don't remember what it is. Let me just look at here a second. Profile. It's Ham 59591 short, SHORTS. Then you can see the same nonsense I post all the time. I didn't think I was kicked off because I told that Hindenburg, and for those who don't know, Hindenburg is a research firm that's paid by the shorts, and they write short reports. They're another one that's saving the world. They wrote a short for Kingdom Capital, and Kingdom Capital shorted the stock in advance of the report, obviously, on the Indian company. I forgot the name of the company. It was a billionaire, and they lost $15 billion in market cap on their fake report. Okay. It has recovered, and it's gone back up, but I guess investors lost a ton of money because the stock got destroyed. Those who held on were rewarded, but the Indian government is now after them. All right. The Indian government is now after them, and they figured out that Kingdom Capital made, for all that negative stuff that these guys did, the attack on their company, all they did was steal $4 million. The company lost $15 billion in value. That, remember, at a public company, when events like that happen, companies protect their capital, fire people, lay off people. It hurts the whole company because now they get scared. They don't know what's going on. Thank God it recovered, and that company based in India can now keep hiring people and keep growing and keep their economy going. But the Indian government stepped in, and in India, they said, if you commit financial fraud, they hang you. So I just posted or said, hey, this case should be trialed in India, and Hindenburg, if guilty, should be hung. And I guess I got kicked off for that. And I'm just stating what the government in India said.
And for YouTube, we're just talking, metaphorically.
No, I think they should be hung. They should be hung. There's no questions. Think about the people in India. If you put your life savings into that company of $5,000, basically Indian rupees, is that what it is? A rupees there?
The rupee?
Rupee, is that it? Right. And
So.
you lose half of it, and your family is poor, and you just lost your investment. If you bought into the IBM of India, whatever it may be.
Hey,
And
as long as the guys in New York City make money, who cares?
That's what they thought. They thought the reach of the Indian government would never come here. Kingdom Capital, these guys, they already figured out how much money they made. There's stories in the newspaper. Kristen Shaughnessy put it up. They made $4 million on it.
So Miles Bradley noticed a while ago, so it's probably not true at this moment, but GME and Chewy were trading at the exact same price, $25.60. I don't know if it's still true, but it is odd that they track each other. But I guess you can do.
Listen, I don't understand that whole nonsense, Doesn't make any sense. Listen, I think that I'm not trying to get people to get involved with Finger. I could care less. But these investors are consumed on something that is, passed them by, I think. That's just, listen, I worked on the street. Hedge funds get bored. They move on. They just keep moving. They're like sharks. Move to the next one. If they think that the hedge funds got interest in these names, they move on. They just come and go. I keep trying to tell you that. So buy the dips, sell the rips. That's what they do. If there's a hedge fund guy playing, he's coming in the morning. GameStop is down a quarter. I'm buying 50. I'll buy 100. Goes up 40 cents. Sell it. I made 40,000. Meanwhile, he's trading IBM, doing something else. A lot of times, hedge funds will buy 100, come to me, buy 100, sell it up a quarter, right? Make 25 grand. And guess what they do? Instead of paying you 6 cents a share, they'll give me 8 cents in and out. So out of the 25 cents they made, they gave me 16 cents. And you know what that is? That's them paying me to make sure if I hear anything, I report it to them. So they're paying me off to be on their payroll. That's what they do a lot. If they're not looking to make money on that trade, they want to make sure they keep me alive, that they're paying me my whatever, $16,000, and for the week I made $16,000 off them. If I hear anything good, who do you think I'm going to call first? Ghostbusters. I'm calling them because they're paying the bill, and that's how it works. And that's why I keep telling you, GameStop, buy the dip, sell the rip. Someone buying 5,000 calls, you're getting played. I keep trying to tell you that. No one wants to listen. They thought I was crazy. Good luck. Follow the other guy. That doesn't mean you can't make money in it. That doesn't mean you're not going to squeeze it. But if you buy the dip, sell the rip, buy the cheap calls, you don't have to be involved. You don't have to read anything. Just keep doing it. You get it for free. There you go. That's it. No energy, nothing to talk about there. That's it. If people don't understand what I wrote about Pat Byrne and Donald Trump and listening to his voice recording, that is the most important statement that's been out here, and no one's paying attention to it. And there's the finger motion. They just put up another print. We're up to 402,000. Could someone confirm to William how big that print was in time and sales right now? I think it was 360, maybe 40,000. Anyone? Did someone give me
The volume is 400,000.
402,000. Could someone tell me what was the print?
The last one I see is 787. Maybe there's another one here in a minute. Mine might be delayed.
I'm trying to text a few people.
I see 4,152 at 12/12/39.
I'll figure it out. We're up to 402,000. And here it is. They're offered at 28. This is their the 12.15. Let's try to move it down. Listen, it's the same pattern. That's not the print I'm talking about. We're up to 402,000. I think it was 363. 363. So you're talking about 40,000.
Yeah, I don't see any update on mine. I see last trade 200 shares, so I don't see a big number, but maybe I'm missing something.
All right, well, I'm waiting for that. No, I haven't heard someone's text me anything about the dividend. We heard the company said they got a few questions. That's all Mark said on your phone call, right? And there's now they hit the 27 bids, 26, 27. We're up to 405,000. These are all fake trades going back and forth now, trying to knock it down. That's all it is.
Yeah.
My friend said there was a bunch of prints here. I says, how much? I just asked him. He's looking at it.
Well, I just saw 200, 549, 100, 100, and 111.
Yeah, those one. There's got to be a bigger print here. Oh, God. Hold on.
My time in sales only goes back 5 trades. Really useful.
There's a lot of them. 1,200, 2,200. I don't see them all. There's 120. Hold on, it's right at the bottom. I'm looking at a small number here. 2,100. There's like a zillion little prints, but 500, 500, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,500, 1,900, 1,500, 1,500, 4,100. There's 12,000 right there at 227. So there's the prints they're putting up. 787. I mean, all of a sudden these things start adding up. Oh, here's another one. Then they go back to the other number, William, 16, 12, the 500s. Anyway, yeah, so they put up a bunch.
Did he come back with a trigger price on Finger?
I'm waiting for it. If my buddy in Miami is listening, get me the goddamn trigger price. You keep sending me all the times in sales, 1,800, 100, 150, 170. You know, these things add up to 2,000 at a clip. You know, these little things. And here it is, they print it again. So the sell program is kicked in. The sell program is kicked in, and here it is, you know. Hurry up, sell, 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 sell. Oh, here's another one. Yes, you know, just, these are all nonsense. 700, 600, 700, 600. It's just rapid fire. I'm looking for one big print. There's 2,900, another 3,000, another 3,500. So all of a sudden, someone came out and said, let me sell 50,000 as fast as I can because I have someone standing here and I'm going to sell it to them. This is the best part, everybody. There's another 10,000. He's basically, they're selling it. All right, 50,000 or 40,000 shares. They're selling it. They're not selling 40,000 shares, 5,000, 3,000. They're selling 40 or 50,000 shares, 200, 800, 1,200, 14. They broke it up into 9,000 trades. So the buyer is standing here buying all these trades. If that's not prearranged trading, I don't know what is. Because I don't see any bids. So who's buying all these trades that are coming in, all these odd lot trades, as we call them? And then it stops. So again, this is all fraudulent stuff, people. Listen, staying on a phone talking about it is like working on a trading desk. Because I could be sitting here telling everybody, this is what I'm seeing, all these trades, and they'll look at it and say, hey, this is all BS. They would tell me it's all BS, and then we both converse on it and say, hey, you know, I would be buying this stock or whatever we would say. That's what working on a trading desk is. This is how you go through these whole things. Then you click around and say, yeah, we talked about GameStop. It was 26 plus. Now it's 25.73. I told you, this is like a drifting stock. The company now has to show everybody what it's doing with the money. That's what it's about now. You know, the short squeeze days, you know, they can keep trying to squeeze it, but, you know, you can see it, it's fading. KOSS, since that point when they squeezed it to 18, it's doing nothing. It's had one day yesterday, a quick squeeze from 9 to 12, back down to 9 again. Do you buy it here? I don't know. My guess, I would play KOSS around $5 to $6 range. That looks like it's more safer to play it there, not knowing what they're doing. But you know, these people that are following these things, my friends say, look at all the little prints. 86, 134, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 229, 114, 100, 120, 114, 64, 200, 100, 300. I mean, all these little prints add up to like 2,000 or 3,000 shares at a clip. It's like a machine gun. And here it is. They knocked it down again. We went from 406 to 408, and the stock dropped down to 223. One share, he's saying. It's ridiculous. And what they do is they drop the bids. And then they move down the offer until they find a buyer. And then it firms up again. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the way to combat this nonsense is just accumulate it. Never chase it. There's no reason to chase it. If you bought stock this morning higher, yesterday a friend of mine paid $207 for the stock, and he says, I bought it, I'm down 7 cents because they pushed it to 2. At the end of the day, he was up on the day. Today, he was going to go out there to buy some more shares. I told him, don't chase it. If you got 1,000 to buy, you buy 100, buy 100. As they push it down, you buy 100, you keep buying it as they push it down. That's the only way to do it. Keep buying it on your terms. It'll turn, and when it turns, you got a nice average price. Big funds do it buying 1 million shares. We're not big funds. We're all small players. So buying 1,000 shares and odd lots, it actually keeps you interested in what you're doing, all right? Because now you're learning how to invest and buy the dips. That's what you're doing, you know? So that, you know, it's a game of, you know, this isn't normal trading. It's all fraud. Yeah, my friend just wrote 1 share. They mark it down lower again. Listen, I have professional people watching every trade here, and we all talk about it. So I got, people left and right that are doing this. And there they come in. Now there's 5,000 for sale. So they're just trying to keep showing you that they're sellers. Remember, when they show it, if you're a player, you buy it when they show it. Because when they stop selling, it's going to be impossible to buy it. Who would want to sell it at 250 today, right? William, you thought it was going to, you said 255 breaks it out to 4, right? Something like that.
I can't remember what I said, but yeah.
That's exactly what you said. 247, 250 takes it to 375, 4. So they know that. So accumulate it. There's no race. If it goes today, it goes tomorrow. The company's installing. The business is growing. Where are they going? We're down to 87 days. Tonight, I'll change the number again. This day's almost over. Down to 86. The elections come in. Pat Byrne's going to take care of it for us. Where are they going? Lynn Partners will be vaporized. Good luck. Him and his buddy in Australia. They're up 220%. If you can, William, repost that story again where he's bragging that he's up 220%.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
They took away. I had all those things saved on my Twitter account. They took them away from me.
They should be on mine.
What's that? You should. Yeah,
I'll find it. I'll try to find it.
Yeah, repost it. And if anybody has this story, I lost the Economist story. Where in the Economist magazine, I posted a bunch of times where they said the regulators were rattled by the increasing number of fails to deliver. If anyone found that story, if you can repost it to me, that is a very prominent business magazine. And look where they got the stock now, 218 to 220. They just printed another 7,000 shares lower. So someone came in and wanted to sell 60,000 shares and mark it down. That's what they've done. 40 of that 60 was probably to themselves, 45 of the 60, and people buying it in the middle.
Normally, you'd have a research report or a Block Box call, and they'd be buying in here, and they couldn't get away with this. But there's no real. Doesn't seem like there's big buyers.
Just look what they're doing. They're trying to mark it down by 20 cents. My friend said they just crossed 57.81. So there's another 5,700 shares. And they do it with odd lots, 57.81. They never want to sell round numbers, 5,000, 2,000. It's always a weird number. That's what they do. My friend goes, who sells 57.81 shares? Nobody does that.
No, it's
hurry up, sell 5,781 shares. Quick, hurry up, sell it down. It's all nonsense. They cross it, they create volume. Here we're up to 420,000. Out of 420,000, I'm going to make a bold prediction based on what I just saw. At least 90 to 100,000 is fake. Minimum. And this is what they do. They just keep crossing. And now there's no offers again, and it goes the other way. So I expect that real short is probably getting washed out. And we'll find out today, sometime. I keep checking. I don't see anything yet. It's either today or tomorrow they report it. And I keep checking. Shortsqueeze.com, everybody. Do your homework. We did the homework on the fundamental end of it, just thinking about how big this deal could be. Just think about it. They got millions of cars and trucks they have to put into, right? Emergency response people. How much money are they making a truck? I don't know if it's 100, 500, 2,000, 10,000. I have no idea. The Chinese government is the buyer. When they install it, I assume once you install it, they get paid. So if it costs them $1,000 to buy the software and they sell it for $3,000, the company makes $2,000 per, and they pay their employee whatever it costs to put it in. They said they pay him $300. They make themselves, $1,300 per installation. That's it. add them up, and you got a monster number. And then there maybe it gets into a bigger pattern where they have to do a maintenance of this thing. So anyway, listen, William, I have to run out. I take my son somewhere, and just continue to watch the fraud. It's pretty easy. And any questions, please post it. We'll answer it as quick as I can. All right, William.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. I
Call
don't know.
ended.
It's Fritz Musetti, one set all. Musetti's winning in the third set. 4-1. He's serving. And he just won the fifth game, 5-1. I don't really have any other goal to talk with you today. Let's just look at some of these other. Maybe there's something going on. I don't know. Yeah, they got it down to 220 bid. Unbelievable. But hey, it's all legal. GME's up $1.22. GMGI. GMGI or JMGI. DJT down a little bit. That one, to me, I don't have the money, but I would buy some calls on that. Just throw away money, though. Just throw away money, if there is such a thing. I went to see, believe it or not, Pat Benatar last night. I was invited. It was a very nice evening. But man, I remember her, but not. Anyway, it was good. It was a good show. It was a very good show at the Warner Theater. Worried about real short buying into wash sales trying to cover. Well, I don't know. I think that's the opportunity. I don't think it's anything to worry about, but as I tried to say yesterday, I got pretty worked up. I love the idea that this is going to squeeze. But if you just take that off the plate, just remove this urgency of a squeeze, you can buy the stock at $2. And if it goes to 5, you double your money. If it goes to 10, you do better than that. If it goes to 8, you do better than double. Those are nice numbers. And just this activity allows you to accumulate. The difference here is the CEO's never going to do a toxic deal again. He's not going to reverse split. He's not going to raise money down here. So, I mean, I'm just quoting him in the live interviews and elsewhere, and press releases. So, how can the shorts ever get out of this? I don't see them getting out. So if you want to be obsessed about it day by day, like today, I was hoping it'd break out, but now I go, oh well, maybe it won't. Because if you just can get rid of that urgency, you can be stronger than the shorts. The shorts are not in a good position, particularly the counterfeit shorts, when it comes to finger motion. They are not in a good position. But if we absorb their emotions, their urgency, and we get in a battle with them on 5-minute trading, 10-minute trading, day trading, we're going to lose, because they literally, under Reg Show, there's 4 tickets in the United States. A buy ticket, you got to have the cash. A sell ticket, you've got to have the shares. A sell short ticket, where you've located the shares, you have to locate it beforehand. You have to borrow it beforehand. And then there's the market maker exemption. And Congress doesn't care. Gensler doesn't care. Nobody cares. And under that exemption, which was a compromise, just like the Second Amendment was a compromise, it was a compromise to get the bill passed, and it's flawed. It doesn't say what it's meant to say. And they just sell. So you're going to lose in the short run. So if you want to measure it every day, every hour, every 30 seconds, you're going to lose. But if instead you can look at the story, accumulate, and if it's not this time, oh, well, it'll be next time. Eventually it's coming where the stock's going to be repriced to a much higher level, and you'll never be able to buy it again at $2. In my opinion, it's not financial advice. As you know, everything on here is in my opinion. I know, it's just, this kind of cheating is protected by Congress. And then Gary Gensler gets up there and says that we have the deepest, fairest markets, the best capital formation. It's all hogwash. It's all hogwash. So anyway, it's 12:35. Let me think if there's anything to talk about. I'd rather just end it early today than go on very long. I've got a lot of emails to respond to. I'd say 100 of them, which I'm working down my list. I just looking at these charts. This is an old chart, but I don't know. I know it sounds like a broken record. I could be wrong, but Logic's still 3 cents. They announced a deal that's worth 6 cents, and then they announced there's a series of deals. It's going to be worth 750 million. They did issue more shares. That's true. So I can't remember. I did the arithmetic. Still, it's 35 to 45 cents. Call it 35 cents. So you can buy it at 3 cents. It's worth 30 cents. Cut it in half. It's worth 15 cents. Cut that in half. It's worth 7.5 cents. You're buying it at 3. You double your money. You make 150% on your money, and you do a trade. It should be something happening by the end of July, but and then on the points about GTII, I stand by my prediction. But remember, I don't know the guy, so I could easily be wrong. But guys, don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I haven't been wrong, unfortunately. There hasn't been a CEO that has proven me wrong. Not a one. And now Jeremy Frommer is coming out fighting. There won't be a stock market for small but he did a 500 for 1 split. He came out and said that, paraphrasing, that Jeff Easton and his clients didn't short his stock. Because he's so stubborn, he has to prove it to himself. And he probably still can't see it because, oh, there's systems in place. It's just the computers. Come on. It's obvious what goes on. You just can't lie to yourself. But I think Jeremy's honest. I'm not trying to pick on that. It's just a blind spot. And I think whatever incentive I think David put up, I'll look into that incentive, but it can be overwhelmed by the backdoor backsheesh. I mean, it can just, if the numbers are true, you're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, which could be saved if you buy out the CEO. And if you wanna ignore that, you can ignore it. But I don't have to agree, I guess. I don't have to agree. But I will say I'm willing, as soon as I'm proven wrong, I'll be willing to give a fulsome apology and say, hey, you were right. But I don't see that happening. So anyway, all right, I'm going to sign out. Who was this? Daytona Pants. Diana Pants. Yeah, I am trying to clear off my desk and trying to get ready to make some money and make some difference in the world. But I want to clear this all off. And you know, if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, I wonder what an empty desk is a sign of. That's what I used to say, but my desks have always been cluttered. I envy people that have it all organized, but it's always been that way for all my life. Hey, that's life. All right. Thank you, Barbara. The tennis today, let's just look at the score one more time. It oh my gosh, 6-2. So it's Musetti, 2-1. Fritz won the first set 6-3. He should have won the second set, whatever that means. But it was 7-6 it went to tiebreak. And this guy here on the end, the commentator, used to be my client back before he became a commentator. He was a tennis player, though. He's a nice guy. He wouldn't remember me. Yeah, I think it's primed to rip. I don't know. I heard somebody bought a bunch of calls on Finger yesterday. They didn't spend a lot, but they bought like 800 calls, the threes. I think looking at the chart for Finger, I don't see any reason why it can't have an explosive move to the upside. I'm talking about 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, $2, all at once. But they got it now. On just a few thousand shares, they have the bid at 224. It's incredible to me. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right, so I'm going to say sayonara. I want to watch the 4th and 5th sets. I hope you guys stay cool. I apologize to Pete Pangenois yesterday. I got upset. I must have misunderstood his question. I also want to say to Bill Macco up here, and I'm sincere in that apology. I'm not moving off of it. I do apologize. I must have misunderstood your question. So it's not fair of me. Bill, where is it? Here, Bill Michael. Bill, I want to congratulate you. Maybe I did misunderstand it. Antigua is amazing. I visited when I was much younger, English Harbor. I loved it. I would love to go back to Antigua. There was some big festival going on, the big Caribbean music, long time ago, 30 years ago, 25 years ago, something like that. Maybe it's more. But anyway, I want to congratulate you on getting your NextBridge shares in hand, because if you see anything with the lawsuits and with all the machinations and all the pressure and all the people on Twitter, they don't intend to pay anything for MMTLP, in my judgment. So that I cannot believe the door is still wide open. You can go grab your real asset because people are sitting doing nothing. Go grab it. You're not going to miss out on a settlement, in my judgment, because the overage, if you want to call that, is so big. They're going to need the real shares too. So whatever, if they ever give something, you'll get a second chance. But in the meantime, one payout from NextBridge, already a year and a half has gone by or whatever. It'll be another year and a half before you know it. And during that time, NextBridge could make a dividend payment that gives you all your money back. You're not going to get it sitting in MMTLP. So I strongly encourage, at least in a thought exercise, that moving your shares to the real shares from the fake shares just makes sense. Oh, it's been a long time. I haven't been there. I just remember the beach was white sand, and you'd walk out and the beat, the music. And I was young. I was having drinks. Which I kind of envy people that get through those years without drinking. Wow. That tie break was amazing. Musetti has a great backhand and forehand. Wow. Tell you what, either one of these guys are going to be tough for Djokovic. These guys are fast on their feet. Whew. Yeah, the rest of the island. I went to Jamaica with a woman I was in love with. It didn't work out at the end of the day. And I was amazed how it wasn't really where you'd want to be. It's a shame. Anyway, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to wish each of you the best. Hopefully there'll be upward movement in Finger today, and we'll get them tomorrow. So peace, love, and happiness. Thanks for as ever sticking through me. Yesterday was really hot in this apartment, and it's a little bit better right now. I didn't wear anything heavy. So we'll leave it at that. And we'll say, name one Pat Benatar song. There's only one. And she didn't play it last night. So anyway, talk at you later. Cheers.